Thank you. My name is Engineer Josephat Bangi, Regional Manager, KEBS South Rift Region. Thank you, media, for coming for the media workshop. The objective of this workshop was to bring to your attention the mandate of KEBS, the new changes that have been effected through the Business Amendment Act 2024, which has amended the Standards Act and brought in a few changes. One of the main changes that has been brought on board is that moving forward, uh, measuring instruments that measure health, that are used in health, that are used for safety, that are used for environmental measurements, would require regular annual calibration mandatorily by owners of those equipment. Second change that has been brought on board is that KEBS will be responsible for registration of any other person who will wish to offer calibration services to the public. So they would have to be registered and licensed by KEBS after they have met the requirements of accreditation. Number three, there have been a lot of changes to manufacturers who manufacture products in Kenya. One of them is it is the responsibility of manufacturers to ensure that the products meet the applicable standards, Kenyan standards. Two, manufacturers will be required that before they put over products for sale, they carry out patch testing or test each product before they offer them for sale. Number three, manufacturers would be required to declare or to label their products accurately, and they include, as part of the labeling requirements, will include the location of this manufacturer, the physical location of this manufacturer, and their contact addresses. Number three, manufacturers will be required to ensure full traceability of their product from the time they manufacture them to the person who they are selling to use. Number three, manufacturers will be required to ensure that they have the procedure for handling complaints, which will cover recalls and how they resolve any complaints from consumers. Number three, they will also have to keep a register for complaints. Now, importantly also, KEBS wants to draw the attention of the public to how they can be able to verify that the products which they are buying have genuine standardization marks. One of the ways of which as a consumer you can verify that the product you are buying has got the right standardization mark or a valid standardization mark is to use a shortcut message. You look at the product, there is usually a standardization mark on that product. So you send SM hash, then you write the standardization mark that is indicated on that product, and then you send that message to 223. Then you will get a feedback which will confirm the product which you have bought, when it was certified, and the validity period of that standardization mark. Again, you can verify that the person you are handling or is dealing with you is a genuine KEBS staff by also using the shortcut message. So you write HR number, hash, then write the HR number of the staff who has come to inspect your factory or your shop. Then you send it again to 223. This is because of recently we have had imposters who are masquerading as KEBS staff, and they actually are not. Like we have a case that has happened in Moro recently, where a group of people calling themselves Malt Works Enforcement Rights Company, they are going around trying to masquerade as KEBS and trying to harass manufacturers or traders that they are checking expired products. And when they find anything in your shop, then they arrest you and they demand bribes of upwards up to 50,000 or more. It is important that the public be notified that this group is an illegal group, and the government through KEBS has initiated the processes to ensure that this group will not get any police protection. Together with the other government agencies and the national government, steps have been taken to ensure that this group is registered and that no police protection will be accorded to this group moving forward. Of course, it's the responsibility of the police to investigate any crimes that has happened in this country. As I've mentioned, as per the Standards Act 496, Rules of Kenya, it is an offense for anybody to impersonate KEBS inspectors, and anybody impersonating KEBS inspectors can be taken to court, and there are still penalties for anybody who is not authorized by KEBS to be an inspector to purport or to impersonate as a KEBS inspector. So the law is very clear. So we expect that the police and the DCI from affected regions will be able to work closely with the KEBS and other government agencies to ensure that then the correct charges are labeled against the perpetrators of such crimes. And kindly, as the media, help us to pass this message to the public that anybody trying to defraud them, they are at liberty and they are encouraged to not give anybody bribes. KEBS of services or services are obtained free of charge, and you don't require to bribe anybody. To report such cases to police stations and have OP numbers, and where necessary, it is important that they work with other colleagues and ensure that they have evidence, including, for example, recording of conversations or even taking of pictures, and it can be used in a court of law. So we want the media to help us. We have had such cases in Mombasa, they have been taken to court. We have had these cases in Nyandarua, even here in Nakuru, where we hear that the people were, came and they harassed. But important is that we have complainants and the people who are willing to come forward and act as witnesses for this group of people, because it's an illegal group. And KEBS is working with other multi-agency organizations, including the national government, to ensure that then, because the standard is clear on the penalties of any imposter, somebody who's trying to emboss or to act as an imposter as a KEBS inspector. So the fine is clear. So as long as the evidence is there, then they should be able to be prosecuted in a court of law. As I mentioned, KEBS is one of the government agencies. Police is part of the national government agencies. And KEBS works as per the Standards Act. As I mentioned, that KEBS has already started the process. We made a public notice about this organization. KEBS has gone for audience from the highest level in government, and the Inspector of Police, the Principal Secretary. We have held a meeting with the KEBS, and all steps are being taken to ensure that this group does not get police protection. I want to believe that it was a confusion and that this group was getting police protection, but otherwise, once the group is registered or gazetted, then police have also been instructed that they should not be able to provide any protection to them. Secondly, as I mentioned, KEBS South Rift region has set up testing laboratories in Nakuru, a poll center, second floor. We have set up 3 laboratories. One laboratory will be microbiology laboratory, another one will be chemistry laboratory, and food and agriculture laboratory. These laboratories are set for opening and launch shortly. We will be informing the media very shortly before long. These laboratories are going to really help in testing of products that are being manufactured from this region, ensuring that the turnaround time is reduced when we carry out product certification. Because currently the samples have to be sent to other laboratories that are far away from Nakuru. So we expect that we will go a long way to complement the efforts in product certification and protecting Kenyan consumers, to ensure that then the products they are consuming are the products that have been certified by KEBS, and that anybody who has any complaint can come to Nakuru and launch a complaint of any product which they have bought and they feel that they are not getting value for that product. So we will be able to test it very quickly and be able to provide an answer, and then our market surveillance officers will be dispatched and would be able to seize those kind of products for further necessary action, which includes destruction or recall of all those products that are affected. One of the things that KEBS is doing is to ensure that we reach out, or we are accessible. We man border points, entry points that are allowing the entry of products to our country. So if you go to our entry points, including from Maraba to Sia, we have KEBS officers stationed there to sample products that are coming from neighboring countries and perform the correct testing to ensure that these products comply before they access the Kenyan market. Number two, other products, KEBS has also another program called PVOC, or pre-verification of export, where products coming from certain regions can be tested and be accompanied by certificate of conformity or certificate of roadworthy accompanying those products. So once an importer presents those documents, KEBS quality or inspection officers will verify them and only pick a sample for quality monitoring. But we have other unscrupulous business people who are also trying to, use undesignated routes where probably maybe at night or when KEBS is not, we don't have a designated entry point or a border point. But currently KEBS is doing everything it can to ensure that all our entry points are properly manned 24 hours. And we have now set up what we call satellite testing laboratories on the border points. So any product coming, whether it's grains or it is fertilizer, it is tested immediately at the border point before it's allowed to enter our market. But we want to work with the media, want to work with everybody, that in case you suspect that a product has been smuggled into our country, which can easily happen, you report to KEBS or even to the police, because they are able to reach KEBS, and we immediately dispatch our officers to go and pick samples, and we determine the quality of those products before they can harm our citizens.